I'm working on this new project and I feel focused and I'm like excited to work on it again. This is just exactly why I love writing, to be honest with you. Like, there's just this feeling that you get when this video is really hard to make. I have been fighting with this decision since mid-February, really, is when I first kind of thought that maybe this project wasn't the one that I'm meant to be working on right now. And I am a firm believer in following your instincts, especially when it comes to your creative outlets and creative projects. I'm no longer going to be working on Project Elf Years right now. This project has been with me for so long. I first had the idea for Project Elf Years when I was like 12 years old or something, and it's just kind of morphed into this giant thing that I still definitely want to write, but I think right now I'm not ready to write it. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to be working on a new project, and I'm really excited. I'm thinking about calling this Project Daydream. It was actually something that my boyfriend said that prompted this idea, which is actually how a lot of my ideas come to me. It's usually just something someone says, and then it sparks an idea for me in my head, and I just go wild with it. And today we are making a mood board, and we are going to be writing the first few lines. I want this to be fun again. It just hasn't been fun recently, and I really want the love of writing to come back to me tenfold. So today we're going to be creating a new mood board for my project. This story has sort of like a daydreamy, head in the clouds vibe. I am just going to start by creating a mood board for the two different worlds that this book is going to be based in, the living reality and the dreaming reality. The first thing that we need to do is start by creating that living reality world. So I'm gonna just find a few pins that kind of match what I'm imagining in my mind for this world to look like, and I already see one that looks really close. The living world is going to be based in a future version of Earth. So now that I've gathered some elements for the mood board, I'm gonna put them together, and then we can kind of talk a little bit more about the project in a little bit more detail. I still have no idea what the characters are going to look like, what the character names are. I guess we'll just find out as we go. If you guys have any suggestions on character names for this type of a book, please, in the comments, throw some ideas my way. I have decided that I want this book to be written in two perspectives, so we're writing in the perspective of one character who is trying to solve the murder, and then we're also writing in the perspective of the murderer. Hopefully this lighting is okay. It is so gloomy. It's rainy and gross out. And I'm lowering the contrast on these ones because when you're in a dream world, everything is just a little less vibrant. All right, so I've also just kind of like cut out basically anything that doesn't really fit the aesthetic that I'm going for. And there we have it. It's finished. All right, so now that I've got my mood board out of the way, by the way, what do you guys think about my mood board? Let me know in the comments. This is my first time making a mood board like that. I actually got the idea from Chris, and I'll link her channel below. She is amazing. If you guys don't already know who she is, definitely check her out. She's a great authortuber on here. I love her videos, and I'm sure you would too. So the next thing I'm going to do is create my Scrivener document. I'm going to customize the entire thing to the Project Daydream aesthetic and just make it super fun. Let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so I finished doing my Scrivener document. I was having some issues getting the colors to actually take, and also my Scrivener document kept quitting on me, and that was starting to get a little frustrating. But I finally figured it out, and I've gotten a general theme going for my Scrivener document. Hopefully every single time I open up the document now, I'll be able to see that and kind of get in the mood to write the story. Good morning, it is the next day. I didn't end up writing last night because there was just a lot going on around the house. So So I'm gonna work on that today instead. The first thing that I would like to do though is make a playlist for my draft. I'm really excited to get started on the draft, but I really want some like dreamy music. I'm gonna add the link to the playlist in the description as well if you guys want to check it out. It's about 11 o'clock now. I'm just gonna take a short break. I need to make a fresh cup of coffee because I got so focused. Mine's gone cold. This is kind of what I meant at the beginning when I said I wasn't feeling that other project, and like I have been having a really hard time focusing on that project and just like really getting into the mood to work on it. I feel like I'm in a different universe now, funnily enough, because I'm working on this new project and I feel focused and I'm like excited to work on it again, which I think is more important than actually being productive and getting the work done. If I'm excited to work on it, then I will naturally gravitate towards this project. I think what I want to do is fast draft this so that I could at least just get the story out of me just as quickly as possible. So I am going to be focusing on this project for camp instead of Project Elf Ears. I think the word goal for this project is going to be around 80,000. So I'm gonna be a camp cheater, I guess, but it's fine. Okay, so here we are on the NaNoWriMo homepage. Let's go ahead and join with a new project. We're going to call this one Project Daydream. And our word goal is 80,000. Because I am delusional. Now, I'm gonna be a NaNoWriMo cheater out of the gate because I'm gonna start working on Project Daydream right now. So I'm also gonna try to do this thing that I used to do with dictation. I am in a place where I feel like thoughts are coming, but I am hesitating to write them down. This is exactly when I like to use dictation because then I just say what's on my mind and I don't necessarily hesitate to put it down on paper. This is something that can help if you're suffering from writer's block. This can also help if you're writing on a deadline, by the way, because you talk a lot faster than you can type or than you can write. This is just exactly why I love writing, to be honest with you. Like, there's just this feeling that you get when you love something so much and it has this impact on you. I feel like I'm falling in love with writing again and just like having fun with it and not having any expectations, but just like enjoying the process and feeling excited to see where the story goes. I've written just about 1,500 words, a little bit over. I've written 2 chapters, which they're pretty short chapters. I think I might have mentioned this before, but this book is going to be written in 2 different perspectives. And it starts off in the perspective of the murderer and then switches to the perspective of the police officer. The premise of this book is really cool and interesting, and it's unlike anything I've ever written before, but I'm so excited to write it. I'm getting all of these new ideas, things that I definitely could add into this project. Just kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about what I've gotten so far, because I feel like when I explained this earlier, it didn't make any sense, and I'm probably gonna cut a lot of that nonsense out. The premise of the book, or the idea, came from a dream that I had, and my boyfriend said something that kind of triggered this thought in my brain, like, what would it be like if we could actually jump into another person's dream, and how would that work? And then it kind of just spurred this idea in me about a person whose friend gets murdered, and she is tasked with finding out who it was that murdered them. Please let me know what you think about that premise in the comments. It would be really nice to get another writer's perspective on that. If you would indulge me in the comments, I would really appreciate it. If you liked it, please let me know. Tell me in the comments, like the video, and if you aren't already, what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel. Okay, I would really appreciate it. And we'd love to have you here in this tiny little community that we're growing. As always, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!